Stop scrolling. You saw the headlines about Donald Trump calling Jasmine Crockett a low IQ individual again this week. You probably saw the clip of him ranting at a rally about the new star of the Democrat Party, but if you look at the timestamp on the video that Jasmine Crockett released on Monday, December 8th, at exactly 5:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will realize something terrifyingly brilliant. She did not just record a response to his insult. She took the raw audio file of Trump attacking her, mastered it, added subtitles, and turned Donald Trump into the narrator of her own Senate campaign commercial. Welcome to the aftermath of the most paradoxical political launch of 2025. This is not just about a feud anymore. This is about a business model. To understand why this specific confrontation matters and why it just completely reshaped the 2026 Texas Senate race, we need to answer three massive questions that the mainstream news is too polite to ask. First, why did a leading Democrat, Colin Allred, suddenly drop out of the race just hours before Crockett announced? Second, what are the specific financial numbers hidden behind this feud that prove both Crockett and Trump are profiting from the same drama? And third, what is the DOGE trap that Crockett is setting for Trump in the House Oversight Committee right now? Let us map the expectation versus the reality. The expectation is that Trump insults a junior congresswoman, she gets mad, goes on MSNBC, and everyone moves on. That is the old script. The reality is that Jasmine Crockett has been banking these insults for months, waiting for a specific legal deadline to weaponize them. She did not respond to the low IQ comment when he first made it in the Oval Office last Thursday. She waited until Monday. Why Monday? Because Monday was the filing deadline for the Texas Senate primary. This brings us to point number 2, the timing. If you look at the filing paperwork, the literal receipt of her candidacy, it was timestamped just hours after Colin Allred, the presumed frontrunner, suspended his campaign. This is the detail everyone missed. The narrative is Crockett versus Trump, but the real body count is inside her own party. By holding back her announcement and using the Trump low IQ audio as her launch mechanism, she effectively cleared the field. She used the threat of a massive Trump-fueled media war to scare off internal competition. She did not have to spend a dime attacking her primary opponents. She just showed them that Trump was going to give her millions of dollars in free airtime. Now, let's get to the most shocking part, or point number 1, the royalty-free narrator strategy. Listen closely to the ad she dropped. It starts with Trump's voice saying she's the new star of the Democrat Party and that they're in big trouble. In traditional politics, you never repeat your opponent's attacks. You bury them. Crockett did the opposite. She amplified them. By wrapping her campaign identity around his fear of her, she forced every MAGA influencer to share her video to mock it. But here's the trick. The algorithm doesn't know you're mocking it. It only knows you're watching it. Look at the data from the Texas Southern University poll released immediately after the launch. Crockett instantly jumped to a massive lead over James Tallarico. Why? Because Trump told his base to hate her. In 2025, if Trump hates you, you don't just get street cred, you get a war chest. We're seeing a complete inversion of political damage. In the aftermath of this ad, Crockett is not defending her intelligence, she's laughing all the way to the bank. She effectively hired Donald Trump as her press secretary, and he's working for free. This leads directly into point number 3, the conflict economy. We need to talk about the money. Just 24 hours after the low IQ ad went live, GOP Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick went on record saying Crockett is the gift that keeps on giving. He thinks she'll drive Republican turnout, but here's the secret. The Democrats are banking on the exact same thing. This is a mutually assured destruction pact that's also a mutually assured profitability pact. Let's break down the DOGE angle I mentioned in the intro. This is the sleeper cell in this story. While everyone is focused on the Senate run, Crockett is currently the ranking member on the DOGE subcommittee. That's the Department of Government Efficiency panel pushed by Trump's allies. Trump thinks this committee is going to slash the deep state. Crockett is using her position on that exact panel to subpoena records on where those cuts are going. When she clapped back at Trump, she wasn't just talking about IQ tests. She was referencing specific vendor contracts she has access to. This is why Trump is escalating the personal attacks. It's not because he thinks she's dumb, it's because he knows she has subpoena power. Whenever Trump targets a specific lawmaker with the low IQ slur, he did it to Maxine Waters, he did it to Mika Brzezinski, it's always when they're getting close to a financial nerve. He tries to discredit the source so that when the documents drop, his base ignores them. Crockett knows this playbook. That's why she smiled in the video. She knows that his anger is actually a tell, a poker tell that reveals he's worried about what she found in the DOGE audit. Let's look at the receipt of the demographics. The media keeps saying Texas is a red state, but Crockett's strategy relies on a specific number. 5.5 million. That's the number of eligible Texas voters who didn't vote in 2024. Her entire bet, the reason she's engaging in this high-voltage confrontation, is that nice politicians like Colin Allred can't wake those people up. She believes that only drama can wake them up. She's betting that a viral feud with the president is the only thing loud enough to break through the apathy of non-voters. We also have to talk about the Marjorie Taylor Greene factor. You can't have a Crockett story without MGT. Remember the bleach blonde hearing? That was the pilot episode. That proved to Crockett that she could go viral by breaking decorum. But notice what happened this week. MGT was silent. Why? Because MGT knows that if she attacks Crockett now, she's just boosting a Senate candidate. The aftermath of the Trump confrontation is that it actually silenced the lower-level trolls. Crockett has graduated. She's fighting the boss now, and the minions are confused. Let's go deeper into the psychology of the ad. The visual language was specific. It showed her standing still, looking strong, while Trump's voice sounded erratic and frantic. It's a classic psychological frame, the stoic versus the hysteric. By staying silent in her own ad and letting him scream, she visually demonstrated presidential behavior while he demonstrated chaos. It's a subtle edit, but it changes how your brain processes the conflict. You stop listening to what he's saying and start judging how he sounds. And what about the legal risks? There's a reason she used a recording of him from a public rally. It's public domain. If she had used a private clip or a deposition tape, she could get sued. But she used his public rally speech. This forces Trump into a corner. He can't sue her for copyright without admitting he said it. He can't sue her for defamation because he's the one speaking. It's a legal checkmate. She trapped him in his own copyright. Now, let's zoom out to the 2026 implications. If Crockett wins the primary, and the polls say she will, we're looking at the most expensive Senate race in U.S. history. The aftermath of this single week in December 2025 is going to be a billion-dollar spending war. Trump will have to pour money into Texas to save John Cornyn, a man he doesn't even like, just to stop Crockett. Do you see the irony? Crockett is forcing Trump to spend his own super PAC money to save a rhino like Cornyn. That's the genius of the low IQ trap. By making herself the villain of the MAGA universe, she's forcing the MAGA movement to spend resources defending establishment Republicans they hate. She's doing all of it with a smile and a 30-second Twitter clip. The expectation was that Jasmine Crockett would be another flash-in-the-pan viral moment. The reality is that she's the first Democrat to figure out how to monetize the Trump news cycle as effectively as he does. She didn't let the insult stick. She printed it on a t-shirt, put it in a commercial, and used it to launch a Senate bid. So here's the final takeaway. When you see them fighting on TV, don't ask who's winning the argument. Ask who's selling the tickets, because right now, both of them are selling out the stadium. The aftermath is not anger, it's profit. Trump gets a villain to rally against, Crockett gets a platform to run on. The only people losing are the ones waiting for a policy debate. I want you to check the pinned comment below. I've linked the specific filing document that shows the timeline of Allred's dropping out versus Crockett's announcement. Tell me if you think she forced him out or if this was a coordinated tag team move by the DNC. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the weaponization of celebrity politics, make sure you check out the Dark Money playlist right here on the screen. We break down exactly how much money Marjorie Taylor Greene made from her feud with AOC last year. The numbers will shock you. I'll see you there. And one last thing, keep an eye on that DOGE committee hearing scheduled for next Tuesday. Crockett dropped a hint in her presser that she's bringing receipts on the border wall contracts. If that happens, this low IQ feud is going to look like a playground fight compared to the legal war that's coming. This is Drama Drip, where we don't just spill the tea, we analyze the supply chain. Let's recap the timeline one more time because it's critical. Sunday, Trump rallies in Houston. Monday morning, Allred drops out. Monday afternoon, Crockett launches the Trump voice ad. Tuesday, fundraising records break Democratic records in Texas. Wednesday, Trump responds on Truth Social, boosting the ad again. It's a perfect loop, a perpetual motion machine of controversy. Most people think politics is about votes. It is not. It is about attention span. And Jasmine Crockett just hijacked the president's attention span for free. She did not pay for that ad placement. He gave it to her. Think about the psychology of the low IQ insult. It appeals to a specific demographic that believes intelligence is static. But by responding with a highly produced, strategically timed legal maneuver like the Senate run, Crockett provides the reality that contradicts the expectation. The expectation is incompetence. The reality is hypercompetence. This dissonance creates viral lift. People share the video to say, look, she is actually smart. Or they share it to say, look, she is delusional. It does not matter. Both shares count the same in the engagement metrics. And do not overlook the Cornyn factor. Senator John Cornyn is sitting there watching this happen. He wants a boring race. He wants to talk about tax cuts. Instead, he is now trapped between a MAGA base that wants him to be more like Trump and a Democratic challenger who is actively baiting Trump. Cornyn is the collateral damage in this celebrity feud. He is going to get squeezed out of the news cycle entirely. This is why the Aftermath title is so appropriate. The blast zone of this confrontation is not Washington, D.C., it is the Texas suburbs. It is the places where suburban moms are tired of the noise but addicted to the drama. Crockett is betting that she can turn exhaustion into action. Trump is betting he can turn exhaustion into submission. We also need to consider the media complicity in this. MSNBC aired the Crockett clip 14 times in 24 hours. Fox News aired the Trump response 20 times. They are the distribution partners in this business venture. If the media ignored it, the strategy would fail. But they cannot ignore it because it rates. It rates because it's simple. Hero versus villain. The casting is perfect. So what happens in January? The new Congress is seated. Crockett will be running for Senate while sitting in the House. Every hearing she attends will be a campaign stop. Every question she asks a witness will be clipped for TikTok. The line between legislating and campaigning has been completely erased, and Donald Trump held the eraser. I want to leave you with a prediction. By February 2026, Trump will actually start complimenting Crockett. Watch, he does this with enemies who prove to be good for ratings. He did it with Hillary Clinton occasionally, calling her a fighter. He did it with Bernie Sanders, saying he was treated badly. If Crockett proves she can hold the audience, Trump will start respecting her as a fellow entertainer. And that, my friends, is the ultimate twist. When the villain starts respecting the hero, you know the script has been flipped. The receipt is on the screen right now. Look at the fundraising totals for the Crockett for Texas PAC. 40% of donations came from out of state. 40%. That means this is not a Texas story. It's a national TV show filmed on location in Texas. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want the truth behind the headlines. We don't just read the news, we read the bank statements.